Okay, so maybe you're looking for something good to watch on Netflix. Something a bit unexpected, perhaps.
Yeah.
Well, we did a deep dive into this article, and it makes a really interesting case for a horror sequel that's on there right now.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
Ouija, Origin of Evil.
Ah, okay. Right. And the article's argument is basically that this isn't just, a decent sequel. It's saying it's maybe one of the scariest and definitely one of the most underrated horror sequels out there.
Which sounds, well, kind of wild, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you remember the first Ouija movie.
Exactly. Not exactly a high bar set by the original. So, yeah, underrated maybe, but scariest. That's a big claim.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the article pins a lot of the success on the director, Mike Flanagan.
Mm-hmm.
The writer really sings his praises, calls him their favorite modern horror director, even compares his style, his sort of humanistic approach, to Wes Craven.
That's high praise indeed. And they highlight that focus, right? The way Flanagan weaves in character, family stuff, grief, alongside the scares. It's not just jump scares.
Right, gives it depth. And the article points to Ouija, Origin of Evil, as like a key early film for him. This was about a decade ago, way before he became really known for things like Gerald's Game or upcoming stuff like The Life of Chuck.
Yeah, it sort of cemented his reputation early on.
This dive also gets into horror sequels generally, which, let's be honest,
they often have a bad rap. And often for good reason,
Oh, definitely. The article admits that, acknowledges the few exceptions people sometimes point to, like Scream 2, maybe The Conjuring 2, Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, Dawn of the Dead gets mentioned sometimes too. But the article really positions this film, Ouija, Origin of Evil, as maybe the prime example.
How so?
Of a sequel taking a really poorly received original.
Which the first one definitely was.
Right, and just elevating it massively. Like, the fact that expectations were so low might have actually helped it.
Interesting take. So remind us, what's the plot again? The article mentions the Netflix description.
Yeah, so it's a prequel, actually, set in the 1960s, California. You've got this woman who runs a sort of fake seance business with her daughters.
Okay.
And the youngest daughter uses a Ouija board trying to contact her dead dad. But, horror movie, she contacts something else, something bad.
Classic setup. But the article insists it's Flanagan's handling that makes it special.
Exactly. They quote their own original review, saying it succeeds on many levels, had genuinely surprising and spooky moments.
Uh-huh. And then they apparently revisited it more recently.
Yeah, and kind of doubled down, called it another testament to Flanagan's indomitable spirit, said that with him, horror feels, what was the quote? More capable than ever of seducing, frightening, and ultimately possessing its audience.
Wow. That's pretty strong language for a sequel to Ouija.
It really is. It tells you how highly the source regards both Flanagan and this specific film.
So the relevance for you listening, well, if you're browsing Netflix for a horror movie recommendation, this is one.
Or if you're just interested in film sequels, the ones that actually break the mold and turn out good.
Or maybe you're curious about Mike Flanagan, this director everyone seems to be talking about, and want to see an earlier example of his style blending that heart and horror thing he does.
Yeah, this deep dive kind of covers all those angles.
Okay, so wrapping this up then. The big takeaway from the source material seems pretty clear.
Yeah.
Ouija, Origin of Evil. It's not just okay, it's presented as this genuinely scary, overlooked sequel. A real showcase for Mike Flanagan early in his career.
Definitely the core message. A sequel that punches way above its weight.
So that leaves a question for you, kind of building off the article's endpoint.
Okay.
We know sequels being better is rare, right? So what's a horror sequel you think really knocks it out of the park, better than the original?
Ooh, good question.
And maybe, does hearing all this about Ouija, Origin of Evil, make you think about, actually watching it on Netflix? Or maybe giving it another look if you've seen it before?
Yeah, something to think about next time you're scrolling.